Hello, guys. Welcome, welcome. Hold on really quick. Give me 1 second, guys. Totally forgot to do this. How's everyone doing? I had such an amazing morning today. I did the comfort care meditation. Oh my God. It was amazing. Jesus Mary Joseph. Jesus Mary Joseph, the three wise men, and a whole bunch of other things. Okay. Let me fix it on Facebook as well. My heart feels so full right now. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I almost feel like, I almost feel like I should not be this happy. Nothing's happened, but whew, I feel like something's going to happen. I feel it. All right. Oh, the comments. This is what I'm trying to fix. Okay. I'm almost there, guys. I'm almost there. All right. So welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So as I said, I was feeling something in my chest. I wasn't going to do a reading today because, your girl got stuff to do. Ooh, my phone just made a sound. But then I was told I needed to do this reading because I needed to kind of spread this goodness out there. You can feel it in your chest. This is huge. It feels like something huge in a very, very good way. In a very, very, very good way. So maybe if you're watching and you haven't already subscribed, maybe you should subscribe right now, because sometime during this reading, because I got so much going on in my chest, I'm probably going to do some energy work for everyone, because you guys need some of this juju. You need some juju in your life. Whoa, hair? Sorry. You need some good juju in your life, and I think I'm going to be the one to give it to you. Because, baby, if you give it to me, I'll give it to you. I know what you want. You know I got it, baby. If you give it to me, I'll give it to you. Anywho, let's get started. Let's definitely get started. Let's pull some cards. Let's make this a banger of a reading. Yeah, let's do that. Let me get some cards. It was such an amazing meditative experience earlier. Like, I don't think I've ever had a meditation like that in my life. Like, damn. It was good. It was so good. I can't. I can, but I mean, I can't. What? I can. I will. I'm doing it already. Okay. I have so much extremely high frequency running through my field, making me feel some kind of way. All right, here goes, guys. I'll pull from another deck later if we feel like we need some more of my shenanigans. If we don't need more of my shenanigans, then I'm not going to pull from a fifth deck. But if I feel like we do, then that's what I'm going to do. All right, let's get started. Beauty in reverse. Even if something's upside down, it can still be beautiful. It really can. Even if your perception is upside down and you don't quite understand what's happening, it's still beautiful. No matter what angle you hold the rose at, um, it's beautiful. Just saying. It's just beautiful. All right. Grove in reverse. So it's like you're not going to be sitting in this place of stagnation. It's this feeling that there's going to be movement, there's going to be activity, there's going to be adventure, there's going to be all these amazing things that are going to be presented to you. But first, you have to get through the next few days, right? You have to get through these next few days as whatever loads into your manifestation template. Hope. Allowing all of that hope to kind of just, spread through your entire auric field, allowing yourself to feel this for once. I talk often about how we typically need more gnosis than we do hope, right? We need to be able to enter into the adulthood of our soul by not relying on things outside of us. But see, sometimes for some people, we get so caught up on relying only on ourselves. We get so caught up with basically like being independent, but in reality, it's not even about independence. We get caught up in this fear that people will fail us, that we will be too much for them, that will be a burden somehow. And then we tend to self isolate. We tend to no longer accept help, even when it's being offered. So it's like this thing of, is that where you're at? Where you went too far towards the other direction. And so now you don't let anyone help you. You don't allow yourself to have faith and hope. And you're kind of just like, if I fail, I fail, and that's it. Because I mean, I don't know. That might not be it. It might not. It might not need to always be just on you. There are some things that are so amazing and so profound that it requires us to allow other people into that situation to kind of help push it along, help you manifest it, might be the best way to put it, right? Maybe one person that you super trust, I don't know. Maybe they told you something, an opportunity, and you're kind of like, oh no, it's okay. That's too much, blah, 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 blah. And then next thing you know, a completely separate situation, and they tell you pretty much the same thing. And you're like, whoa, is there something else to this? Should I pursue this? Is this something that is in alignment with what I'm trying to do? And sometimes that's what it is. Sometimes what we need from other people, like their contribution to what we're creating, is simply that reiteration of what you've been being told, of what you've been feeling and not realizing, because you're interpreting it in a different way, right? So it might be something like that. Differences in reverse. Yeah. You need to allow the coming together of all your pieces. You need to allow yourself to be reunited with the different components that are necessary. For some of us, the different components are people. For others of us, the different components are situations. Yet for others, it could be something like an environment, a living situation. For even others, it could be something financial. Like, allow all these parts to come together and work together so that you can be the greatest, most powerful expression of your divine truth. Woo! That alone. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I feel that one. I feel that one. I feel it rising up like this divine realization. You know what I mean? Like this divine AF realization of where your life is headed. Realizing that, like, oh my gosh, I've been thinking about and dreaming about and working towards this specific thing. And now you're realizing, whoa, I'm about to be handpicked by God and then delivered, airdropped right into it, right? So, this is about allowing yourself to go through whatever it is you're needing to go through, to connect in ways that you need to connect, to receive the messages in the way they're intended to be received, and to really just go for it. Playful. You can be playful as you accept what's being given to you. You can be playful with that. It's all right. Ooh, don't forget. It is so easy to forget sometimes. Sometimes we get so caught up in like what we think we should be doing, the person that we think we should be, only to realize that we've forgotten who we actually are. I'm just so grateful for that comfort care meditation. Granted, I was the hostess. It was my event, but it affected me profoundly. It affected me profoundly. I don't know if you can feel the shift in my energy today compared to most other days. Um, there's just this ease and this flow. I think that meditation was my reminder of how much I've traveled down this wilderness that actually takes me back home to myself. You know, I think we all sometimes need a reminder. I think we all sometimes need this reminder of just how beautiful we are in whatever environment we're in. And that was this continuing message throughout the event that I just completed. This reminder, this reiteration of you are beautiful in any environment that you're in. Beauty alluding to the type of grace, compassion, power, boldness. Ooh. I find that a woman is so much more beautiful when she steps into her power, is bold about who she is, not cocky per se, but just bold. You know, like she owns herself. She owns her life, her actions, her words. She owns the words that come out like butter melting on a hot surface, right? But she also owns the words that serve as the rocks that can be thrown to dissuade people from whatever effery they're planning to put upon her. That's beautiful. That's beautiful to see you in your full power, your strength, really owning yourself, your life, all of it. I mean, there's no more beautiful thing than that outside of being that and allowing your children to witness it. Ooh, I'm saying there's no purpose outside of being a mother that I feel is beyond the gravity of being a mother, raising another human being. You don't even have to be a biological parent, but to have that role of helping another human being come into their own. Oof, that's powerful. Powerful. Forbidden. Some things are forbidden from you knowing. Figure out what things are forbidden and what things you're just not wanting to know because you're afraid. You're afraid of what that knowing will do. A time to give rather than to take. It's in reverse, though. Okay. This card came out in reverse. And this is telling me it's time for you to receive from the heart. You can receive anything from the heart. You can receive the good, you can receive the bad, you can receive the offensive, you can receive the empowering, everything, the full totality, the whole gambit of what can be offered to you by creation, by life, by people, by circumstance, by you. Time to receive it all. Bring all your parts back home. I think for some of us, we've struggled for so long with a lot of what we have classified as our life. Are you really living your life? Or are you living a life in accordance with what someone else convinced you should live? Once upon a time, I was convinced first that I should be a nun. And then someone else came along and convinced me that no, you should not be a nun. Someone came along and was like, no, you're supposed to be a doctor. Oh, so I'm not supposed to be a nun? No, you're supposed to be a doctor. Nuns don't make money. You need to make money. So you're going to be a doctor. Oh, okay, I'll be a doctor. And then someone else came along and convinced me that I just needed to be this. And another person came along and I just needed to be that. And then another person and another person and another person, until I realized that I was no longer just myself. I was actually, people from the 80s, you'll know what I'm talking about. I was nothing but the carpet runner. Yes, you know what that is? It's a roll of plastic that you place on top of carpet. So people's dirty shoes don't dirty your carpet. That's what my purpose was. That I would be what was used to protect you from getting dirty by people walking all over you. You could volunteer me for things and, I will agree to that. And you can treat me poorly and I will accept that, because carpet runners don't have emotions. They have no dignity. They're created as this synthetic coating, this cover to protect the thing that is valued. So you're not actually valued. It's what you are covering that has value. But see, here's the thing. If you were getting too crazy on that carpet runner, the plastic runners for carpets, and people from the 80s, they know this, sometimes it'll get flipped over. That's a big owie. You know why? Because it has little thorn looking attachments on that side. And that's to keep it from sliding around on the carpet. I remember being a child, and part of the sadistic things that, my cousins and I would do to each other is we would dare each other to run across the carpet runner with it flipped over the wrong way. So it's like laying out Legos in a path on the carpet and running across that. It's akin to that sensation. People had flipped me over. I was the bona fide carpet runner, and they had flipped me over, and then they got angry. They got angry that the very barbs that I was created with is part of my design to help me to hold on. They got angry that they ran on the wrong side of me and hurt themselves. And then came a point in my life where I realized I'm not even a carpet runner. I'm not the carpets. I'm not a rug. I'm not even hardwood floor. I'm none of that. I'm the land that the house was built on. And all the natural living things that exist on that land, that's me. That's me. I am a living, breathing thing. I am this ever evolving part of creation. And that's when the reality of me finally dawned on me like a new day. That's the thing. I never knew the gravity of me until I stopped agreeing, stopped volunteering for the things that people asked me to be. Now, why would they ask me to be that? Because they knew they could. Because they knew they could. And they knew that I would say yes. Is that my fault? No. Is that what I deserved? No. Did I allow? Yes, I allowed it. I participated in it. I allowed it and I participated in it. And because of those two factors, I am not a victim of it. I'm not. I'm a participant. You can't identify as a victim if you're a willing participant. And it comes to a point where you will reach some level of realization about yourself, about your journey, and you'll no longer want to be anything outside of what you actually are. And what you actually are, you have always been your entire life. It's not something you have to work towards. You have always been that. Always. Now, don't confuse your identity with some level of success, right? Don't confuse your actual identity with some goal, some title that you're trying to achieve, trying to earn. Those are different things. Who you are is less about the human and more about the soul. Who you are is a soul having a human experience in a human life surrounded by humans you love. There is nothing wrong with you being both the human and the soul, experiencing it from both ends at the same time. So, a time to give rather than take in reverse. It's time for you to receive. Ooh, expect powerful change. Look at this. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yes. Do you claim this change? Will you take ownership? Will you take ownership of whatever your life is about to bring you? I want to do something real quick. If you can feel that in your chest, you feel that in your heart, you feel it kind of rising up to the base of your throat, right? If you can feel that, and it feels a little bit scary, but a whole lot exciting, but you don't know what it's about, right? Do you guys feel that? If you feel that, and you want to take this chance on yourself, let me know. Let me know. Put I accept. Let me know. Write down I accept. I accept. What do you accept? Everything that my life is bringing to me. All the potential, all the goodness, all the amazing, amazing, amazing change that will make my life become a life that is worthy of me. Mm. Whew. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Let's accept it all. Accept it, accept it, accept it. Take it all in. Ooh. Ooh. I think Pedro's touching my face. Don't touch my face, Pedro. Accept it all. Take it all in and allow yourself to receive what is rightfully yours. What is rightfully yours? What is it? Who cares? but Emmy, what if it's only $2? Who cares? Who cares? That's $2 you didn't have. But Emmy, what if it's what if it's just what if it's just who cares? What if that lesser victory, what if that's how your life prepares you to truly receive the more profound victories? What if, what if, what if it's nothing but your life really just starting to prime you? Small success, small success, small success, medium success, medium success, medium success. Whoa, big ass success. You know what I'm saying? What if these are nothing but the stepping stones that take you higher and higher into these realms of achievement and receiving? Exactly. What if it's just the next step? What if? What if we allow ourselves? My husband just opened the door and was like, what if we just allow ourselves to go through the process? I've been going through this process for quite a few years, this process of allowing myself to receive. And it's been hard. It's been hard. I was talking to my class yesterday, and the process has been very, very difficult. Like, very, very difficult. I've allowed myself to receive a little bit more and a little bit more. I've allowed myself to be much more vulnerable and allow other people to be part of my process. And it's been scary, but my God, it's been profound. It's been so powerful and so profound. It's taken me to places within myself where I'm realizing, like, I really am capable of this. I'm capable. I'm capable. That statement alone. When was the last time you told yourself that you're capable? When was the last time you acknowledged how capable you actually are? When was the last time you celebrated yourself? And I think this powerful change for those of us who are ready, you have to be ready to be able to experience this. Because if you're not ready, you'll experience it and not realize what you're experiencing. You'll experience it and you'll, basically feel as though it's like, I don't get it. You don't get it. There years ago, I had this situation and it kind of weirded me out, if we're going to be honest. It weirded me out. So I was in some group chat because people like to toss me into group chats for some reason. And I didn't want to be seen as rude. And so I would never exit. So I was put in a group chat and remember someone was having like a rough day. I don't remember what they were struggling with, but someone was having a rough day. And I happened to see the notifications come in for that particular sharing of emotions, right? And so I went into the chat and I began talking to them, and there were a lot of people watching. No one's chiming in. Everyone's just kind of watching. And, I helped this person reach a different space of perception. And then I asked them if they wanted me to do some energy work to kind of help them solidify this change for themselves, empower them, and all of this and all of that. And yeah, the person said, yeah. So I did what I did. And I was like, do you feel better? And they're like, yeah. And to me, that's kind of like, that's what a good person does. You just help with when you can. If you can't, then you can't. But if you can and you help, that's nice. And so I did that. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to get going. I kind of have to get back to work. And the person was like, oh, what do you do? I was like, oh, I do like private sessions and stuff. And, sometimes I live stream. Yeah, just stuff. That's how I put it. And they're like, oh, okay, hope you have an amazing day. And then I left. And then next thing you know, my phone is blowing up like crazy. Like, what is going on? And I look and it's like an entire thread. It weirds me out. I left the chat. It was an entire just like explosion of activity in that group chat. And they were all like, you don't know who Emmy is? Like, why would they know who Emmy is? Why would they know? That's a weird thing to say to someone. That's a seriously weird thing to say to someone. And then they all start talking about me in that group chat. And they were like, do you understand how long it takes to get a session with? And she just gave you a free session. That wasn't a session. That is one human being seeing the need of another human being and honoring that need. What are you talking about? I was so upset. I was so upset seeing all these things that were written. And I guess, I don't know. I guess the other people in that chat were saying these things with the assumption that I would see it and take it as some type of compliment. And I totally didn't. I literally left the chat. I left the chat. But here's the thing. Just because you don't know the gravity of you and how people will receive you does not negate the gravity of you. It doesn't negate the importance of you. Even before you understand what that importance is or the gravity that you hold, the type of place that you occupy in people's lives, it's already there. It's already there. And sometimes the things that you go through are the things that kind of help you to come to terms with exactly what your life is trying to show you, what your life is trying to teach you. So what did that tell me? That people are weird. That's all. I still, to this day, years later, I still don't understand what the heck all of that was about. I really don't. When someone is telling you that they are at their wits' end and you're drawn to help, like, you help. What are y'all talking about? But hey, that changed, that shifted the perception that I had about myself. In what way? It kind of made me question, like, is there something I'm not picking up on? Is there, I think I'm not quite understanding what, like, what? And after that, I began to question and I began to realize more and more and more just how little I know about myself, how little I know about whatever effect I might have on my environment. It's not always a positive effect, I can tell you that much. Sometimes people be getting real irate with me and I'd be like, I don't give a shit. Yeah. Yeah. It's okay for me to be like that because that's who I am. It's okay for you to be you. It's okay for you to have the quirks that you have, to have the personality that you have. And just because you're made to feel not welcome in a specific environment does not mean you're not welcome within creation itself. It means it's time for you to find a different environment. And yeah, that group chat situation, that shut me down for quite a few weeks. Like, I don't understand what's going on. Because I didn't understand what was going on. And what ended up happening was from that, I began to feel more and more self-aware in the environments and the groups that I would enter into, to the degree that I no longer wanted to be part of any groups and communities. And no, like, I'm kind of just, I'm gonna just do my own thing and just chill. I'm gonna just chill. I'm gonna live stream. I'm gonna just leave everybody else alone. And the thing was, when I entered into that space and I allowed myself to have permission from myself to go even further into trying to understand, like, what just happened, I then began to understand maybe I'm not meant to fit in. Maybe I need to be okay with that. Maybe I'm meant to only be in groups for short periods, just to sprinkle a little bit of my love and my fairy dust everywhere before I move on to the next place. And that's kind of part of what I do, is just spread goodness wherever I can, and then call it a day and retreat back home to myself. And after going through that cycle for so many years, what ended up happening was I woke up one day and I realized I no longer do that, because I'm no longer seeking something outside of myself. And the next part of that realization was, oh my gosh, an entire community was created around me. Like, like I'm not talking about followers. I'm not talking about subscribers. I'm talking about like a full on bona fide community, a community of people who are my equals. Like, hot diggity damn. Do you know how long I've been waiting for this? Do you know how long I've been waiting for you? Not you after you've ascended, not you after you've woken up, not you after you've this or that, or DNA strands, or star seed, or whatever else you think. No, 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 no. You right when you entered. You as you are. Do you know how long I've waited for you? A long time. A very long time. So if you think I hold gravity in your life, honey, it's reciprocated. You carry the same gravity in mine. When you find yourself in the environment that you belong in, there's no effort. You can just be who you are, and it's not tolerated, it's celebrated. Who you are is just as important as who you are becoming, who you have been. Who you are right now is the bridge between your past and your future. It is your gift to yourself and everyone who you allow to witness you. Excuse me. What do you need to release? It's in reverse. So the question, what do you need to release? Not a damn thing. You don't have to let go of any part of you. What you need to release are the things that are not actually yours. Those are the things that need to be let go of. Those are the things that really had no place in your life to begin with. Other people's opinions, those are GMO, grievously modified opinions. They try and inject it into you to cause you to agree with them and fluff up their ego. No, no. I don't need to agree with anyone. Me not agreeing with you is not me attempting to invalidate you. Me not agreeing with you is simply me having a different stance, a different perception, and not wanting to compromise myself in order to appease you. Do I get offended when people don't agree with me? No. Do I get offended when you verbalize your disagreement? No. The only time you'll see me get offended with people is when you continue in a combative, argumentative way. You try to express your opinions that differ from mine in such a way that tries to override my own perception. I don't think so. I don't think so. I give you the opportunity to bow out, because I'm not leaving my own house. That's not how it works. You're so silly. I'm not leaving my own house. You want to come here and do that? I'll eject you myself. And once upon a time, I thought I had to let go of that part of me. I thought that was an ugly part. I thought all the parts of me that protect me were ugly. Boo boo, they're sexy. Mm-hmm. That's what I've learned. That's what you guys have taught me. Those parts are lovely. They're amazing. But we don't want to diminish the wow factor by always having those parts out for display, right? Like, I mean, y'all have never seen much skin on me, right? I'm sure if I were to show you some cleavage, you'd be like, "Oh my god!" I mean, the cleavage has been there all this time. It has. The cleavage has always been there, but because you rarely ever see it, you're like, whoa. No, honey, it's not whoa. It's just not whoa. Save those parts of you for when they really need to be showcased. Those are not parts to be ashamed of. Those are parts that will help you go further in whatever this huge thing is, this huge event. Be bold and make the first move. Ooh. Oh, shoot. Be bold and make the first move. Go for it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. That's how you learn about yourself. And it's this thing of like, but Emmy, what if I fail? What if I make a fool of myself? What if I this? What if I that? So, y'all, I don't have 2 left feet. Like, your girl can actually dance if I want to, but I usually don't want to dance. But here's the thing, I have horrible balance for some reason. Maybe it's because of the laxity of my joints. I don't know, but I can't balance very well. And then I'm an overthinker. So then what ends up happening is maybe that's what adds to my lack of balance. I don't know. I just can't balance very well. When I was, I think, 21, my husband, who is Mr. Dynamo over there and does BMX tricks and skateboards and all kind of different things, he loves snowboarding and he can balance. He can balance really, really well. And he wanted to take me snowboarding for my birthday. And the overachiever that I was and still am, I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And then, so he took me and I was telling him, like, I can learn real fast. I can learn real fast. Let's do the double diamond thing. Okay. Like, I'm not going to embarrass you. I'm badass. And he goes, well, I don't know if I could do that. And I was like, let's just do it. He's like, no, I'm going down the bunny slope first. Thank God for him. Because first off, they had to stop the, whatever that is, the ski lift. They had to stop the ski lift because I could not get on. They had to unbuckle me from my snowboard and get me on the ski lift. My husband was already on and I couldn't get on with him. And they were like, just let him go. He'll meet you at the top. I said, okay. They're going to put me on my own seat. And they stopped the whole thing so that I could walk onto the seat. And then they strapped me back into the snowboard. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do when I get to the top? And I get to the top and my husband's yelling, jump off. Who's he yelling at? He's yelling for me to jump off. And I'm like trying to inch myself forward and I couldn't because the snowboard was so heavy. The snowboard was heavy and I couldn't inch myself forward. And I was like, I'll just meet you at the bottom. I was just going to go back around. At which point the guy at the top of the ski lift, who is part of the operator, he goes, jump, Dad. I was like, no, I'll go around. And so he stopped the entire lift. But he didn't stop it when the ground was at the closest. It was like, now I'm maybe like, I don't know, 8 feet from the ground. And he's telling me to jump off. And I was like, I can't. This is too high. And then he goes, I'll catch you. And I'm like, where's your other arm? He was going to catch me with one arm. I was like, no. I'm not jumping off. And he goes, you have to jump. And I was like, I'm not jumping off. And he goes, you have to jump. And I was like, no. And he goes, you have to jump. And he got so mad. I was like, you only have one arm. How are you going to catch me? He jumps up and he unstraps my. It's just too much, y'all. It's too much. It was too much. He yanked me off the thing. He yanked me off. Then he just kind of like shoves me, not really hard. He says, you have to go down. You have to go. He was so mad at me. I was like, don't touch me with your one arm. I was so offended. And I was like, well, I'm already here, so I'm just going to slide down. Yo, I was at like, I was like a quarter of the way down. And I was just like, this is too much. So I sat down. I thought, I just need to rest. I need to rest is what it is. I just take a breather. And this kid that was probably like, I don't know, between 8 and 12 years old. I don't know. He had 49ers gear. I remember this clearly. He went down that slope. I don't know, maybe like 4 times before he went ahead, and he looked at me every single time. And then he decides to sit beside me after like going down maybe 4 times. He sits beside me and he's kind of just sitting there. And he starts up a conversation because I didn't say anything to him. I was just like, who are you? I didn't say anything to him. And then he asked me, like, do you need help? I was like, no, I'm just resting. He points out that I've been sitting there for like an hour and a half. That's none of your business, kid. It is none of your business how long I've been resting. 3/4 of the way down. It's none of your business. He goes, okay. So he goes down again. And next, you know, my then sister-in-law, who's giggling the whole time, she comes over and she's wearing the 2 like mini skis. I think they're like ski rockets or whatever the heck they're called. And she's like, why are you still sitting here? I was like, because I'm stuck. I can't go down. I'm scared. She goes, oh, you know, maybe it's because it's a snowboard. You want to trade? And I was like, sure. So she takes off the skis. She attaches them to my feet. And she goes down with a snowboard. And I tried to stand up and I nearly tore my ACL. So I sat back down. At which point the little boy came back again. He sat down beside me. He goes, I think you need help. It's like, where is your parents? Where is your parents? Yeah. And I ended up having to walk down. I took off the skis and I clopped my way all the way down. That was the bunny slope. It was the bunny slope. It was the bunny slope. Don't judge me. That shit was steep for someone like me. Did you know that snow is like slippery? It's slippery when it's compacted. That does not feel good to fall on that. Y'all, that does not feel good to fall on. I'm not even ashamed. I'm not a snowboarder. I don't give a shit what you think. I don't care. But that was the thing, is that I was there thinking I needed to be something more than what I actually am. And I realized that day, I am not a snowboarder or a skier or any of that. I don't do that. I don't do that. I can do one hell of a snow fight though. I can pack it in so hard I give you a concussion, but I cannot ski or snowboard. And I have to be okay with that, because like a few, maybe like a year or so later, someone invited us to go snowboarding. I was like, bitch, no. Do they have a lodge? I will just sip my hot cocoa in the lodge. I'll go, but don't even waste money renting me shit. Like, I will just sit in the lodge and I will sip on stuff and look cute when you arrive. I will just look cute when you arrive. I don't need to be anything outside of who I actually am. I don't. I don't need to play this game. I don't need to prove anything. I just need to make sure that I do what is safe for me. I need to make sure that I do what is peaceful for me, right? How many of us do that? How many of us? How many of us end up trying to impress other people? And in trying to impress other people, we end up hurting our own feelings. We end up disappointing ourselves. I can skate. I can ice skate. I can roller skate. You know, if you have me going forward, but I can't ski because that was just bullshit. It was too slippery. I'm saying if there's enough traction that I can reassure myself that I can stop, I mean, that's good. But if there's not, just leave me in the lodge. Leave me in the lodge. It's fine. Your commitment is being tested. You and your loved ones are safe. Okay. So, whatever it is that's going to change, it's not just going to change your life, it's going to change the life of your loved ones as well. Don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid of allowing that change to ripen into something that is going to be like an entire grove. Oh, the grove, a grove of fruit trees so that your family is never hungry again. Your family is safe. You are safe. All of your components are safe. You don't have to hide them away. You don't have to pretend like it doesn't exist and you're not as profound as you are just because you think that you're going to rub people the wrong way. Those are the people that need to be sanded. When you rub people the wrong way, your existence is doing them a favor by sanding down the areas within them that have become calloused. Mm-hmm. I mean, they should just be thankful that you don't send like some type of spiritual pedicure fee. Could you imagine? Could you imagine receiving an invoice for someone charging you for being abrasive with you? They were able to stand you down, get you nice and, supple and smooth. I'm just saying, like, have gratitude for the ways in which people can either unintentionally um intentionally or unintentionally add to your end product, right? Oh, it's not that they don't like you, it's just they wonder how they can be more like that. Ooh, Lisa. Mm. So here's the thing. I'm not going to disagree with that because that could have some truth in it, right? It could be true for some people. For me personally, I found that when people try to be more like me, they end up not liking me because they can't sustain it, and then they hate that I can. Because guess what? It takes no effort for me to be me. You did it to yourself, boo. The moment you tried to be someone else was the moment you ensured you were going to forever struggle as long as you tried to be someone else. So there are people who don't like me. That's their problem. There are people who don't like me because they believe this, they believe that. That's on them if they want to believe things without ever having had any interaction with me. There are people who dislike me because they have had interaction with me and they don't understand me. That's okay. I'm not meant to be understood. Just like I won't hold it against you if you lack the intelligence to understand me, I won't hold it against you, right? You shouldn't hold it against me that we're different. You just shouldn't. but I can't stop you from doing it if you choose to. What I can do is ensure that I'm not in your presence long enough for you to negatively affect me. It's okay for you to have me experience something like that with you simply because that might be some type of behavioral issue that I need to be aware of so that I don't ever act that way, right? Or maybe I'm being made aware of it because I'm on the verge of acting that way and I shouldn't. So it can always be something beneficial for you, just being exposed. But should I marinate in it? No, 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 thank you. No, thank you. You're good enough. You're good enough the way you are. I can't emphasize that enough. You are good enough exactly as you are. That's a statement. That's a declaration. Can you guys please put in the comments, I'm good enough? Can you please just do that for me? I am good enough. I am good enough. I'm good enough. Really claim that. Really allow yourself to put it in there. Yes. Yes, Jenny. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, Mariah. Yes, flourishing after obscurity. Yes, Matthew. Yes, Miss China. Yes, Ailarine. Yes, Catherine. I love this. Yes, 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 yes to everyone. Yes, yes, yes. I love this. I love this so much. I love seeing you being a reflection of what I'm going through. I love this. 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 I love being in this space surrounded by reflections of all the effort I put into healing myself. How does it feel? How does it feel to know that you're enough? To be in the same environment as people who are in the same process you are. In that same space of self-love, self-acceptance, recognizing like, ooh, I love it. I love it. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. It's just this feeling of being enough. Knowing that even though you're good enough right now, you do still have the space, the capacity to become even better, even more, not because you need to impress other people, but because you deserve to experience that part of you. Ooh. Mm-mm-mm. I love it. I love it. So, with that, it's a time for healing. It is a time for healing. It is a time for us to make room, make space within ourselves, within our lives. These are all good stuff. Walk your truth, move forward. Walk your truth, move forward. As you move forward, make sure your movements are full of your truth, full of your authenticity, allowing yourself to be witnessed as you are with no shame, no guilt, no hesitation, not allowing yourself to become intimidated by other people's expectations. You know, sometimes people will expect things from me, and some of the ways in which I kind of diffuse that situation as I kind of laugh. I was like, no, silly. I don't do that. You're so funny. Like some people, some people will think that I literally know everything in advance. And it's like, no, I don't know everything. Are you serious? Yeah, no. And they're like, but you're super psychic. And I'm like, only when I'm helping other people, not I don't get free reign over things like that. I don't know everything. That's so funny. You thought that I could do that? No, I'm not allowed to do that. No, I'm not allowed to do that. I can't do that. I mean, I could, but based on my own standards, um, I don't allow myself to do that. That's just, yeah, it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. And that really helps people, especially people who are new to me. Um, it helps them recalibrate their expectation of me. So I'm wondering, is part of the reason that you kind of need to exit certain environments, part of that reason because they've already established that expectation? Possibly. So timeout in reverse, you don't need to take a timeout. That's what this card's telling me. You don't need to take a timeout. I think if you're planning on taking a timeout, it has it has more to do with the potential of you trying to hide away. Don't hide anymore. Allow yourself to be fully present. Allow yourself to actually begin. Um, just allow, allow whatever fears are coming up, allow whatever insecurities that are coming up to be addressed and put to bed. Those are the tired parts of you. Those are the parts that are exhausted and just need to be put to bed. All the internal bickering, all that strife, just put it to bed. Let it rest. Have patience with your process. Okay. There's a lot of things that are happening, and it's not just stuff having to do with the earth or your human existence. A lot of this stuff is a combination of your human existence and your spiritual purpose, your soul's purpose. Allow that process to continue. Intuition and transformation. Intuition and transformation. Allow your intuition, your intuitive knowing, to be the very thing that encourages your transformation to kind of further itself. Be still, but it's in reverse. It's same thing as the timeout card in reverse. Now is a time for action. Now is a time for you to do what you need to do, what you are guided to do. How badly do you want this? Without knowing what this is, how badly do you want it? How badly? Base it on what you feel. What do you feel in your chest? What do you feel in your high heart? What do you feel in your solar plexus? Do you want this? Love this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. What is it that you want? For those of you that know you want it that bad, look at all of this. Look at all of this, you guys. Look at all of that. Your intuition is something you feel. It's not something you quantify. It's not something you analyze. It's not an analytic thing. It is something that you feel, and you felt it, and your intuition communicated something to you. And even though your mind could not quite interpret what that meant, it couldn't quite grasp how this will be delivered to you, what is being delivered, when it will be delivered, you feel like you need to accept that delivery. Like you need it. Yeah, I need it. And it's okay to know without knowing, without understanding, without all the details. It's okay to allow your soul to communicate through the feelings within your body, and allow that communication to be heard, truly heard and acted upon. Mm. 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 Mm-mm-mm. All of these things you guys are writing. Mm-mm-mm. Yes. 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 It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So here's the thing. Have enough compassion for yourself to allow this. Don't block it this time. Don't block it this time. You know, you've come so close to manifesting this multiple times. So close. So close. So close that you're like, nah, it probably wouldn't have happened if I had stuck to it. Don't block it this time. Don't allow yourself to get in your own way this time. Let's see. Galactic Heritage and Redirection Sigil. They are both in reverse. So this has to do with the life you're building right now. It has to do with this human existence. This is not something you need to redirect yourself away from, okay? This is something you need to keep going all the way through. All the way through. Yes. It's time for you to awaken to the reality of how profound you've always been. Allow yourself to awaken to the knowing, this knowing of where you're headed. And it's where you're headed in general terms. Like, I'm headed towards a new space within myself, within my life. I'm headed towards a new career. I'm headed towards new friendships, new relationships, new living space, new whatever it is. There are no limitations. None. You get to choose all of this. Just like you get to choose every single time of whether you will or you won't accept what your soul and your life are giving you. So we also have the build up sigil in reverse. Don't hype yourself up. Don't hype yourself up. Just don't. Don't. It's just one of those things. It's one of those things. It's something that you're going to experience regardless. When you try and do it in a way where you're needing to hype yourself up, you hype yourself up because you don't believe it's actually going to happen. You don't believe you actually deserve it. You don't believe, you don't believe, you don't believe. Right? You don't believe, you don't believe, you don't believe. So you got to hype, 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 hype. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't. Just do it. Claim it and do it. Get her done. That's it. That's it. Just really allowing yourself to understand you have all the components. You don't have to build yourself up. You don't have to create this fake stage, this soapbox for you to stand on, just so what people can see you better. See, I have this vision in my mind. It doesn't involve me standing on a soapbox. It doesn't even involve me standing on a stage. This vision in my mind is to reach a point of so much trust and comfort within myself, my capabilities, my purpose, that I could stand in a crowded room and simply begin speaking. And for people to feel the gravity of me to the degree that they all choose to become my living stage, where they don't place me above them. Instead, they encircle me and view me 360 degrees all the way around with their ears and their hearts open, where they don't have to see me placed above other people, that they don't need to see me at all. Because what I come, it's not something to see. It's something to feel. It's something to absorb. It is something to listen to, like your own soul is talking to you. So I don't need the little extras. I don't even need a mic. I just don't. I don't need the soapbox. I don't need a stage. I don't need a podium. I don't need a mic. I just need my voice and my truth and my courage to use my voice to explain my truth. And that's it. What a simple life. What a simple, beautiful life. Now, there's going to be something that's going to try and interfere with this process. Don't let it. Stay in a space of neutral. Stay in a space of positivity for yourself. Stay in a space of trusting your soul's ability to get you through any circumstance. Just stay in a space worthy of you and what you're creating. Something will try and get you to behave, think, feel, vibrate at a level that's not worthy of you. And I'm not talking about being high vibe. I'm talking about remaining stable in your frequency. See, people have lied to you. You thought you escaped the lies when you escaped the church, and then you ran into the arms of another oppressor called spirituality. You thought it was spiritual. No, I'm divine. Spirituality is a belief in the divine. Divinity is what I actually am. I tell you right now, you don't need to be high frequency or low frequency. You need to be stable in wherever you're anchored. You need to do what's necessary to support yourself in your process. You don't have to follow people's cookie cutter explanations of why you're not enough and why you should do what they do. Those are ego based. Just because something works for me does not mean it will work for you. And just because something works for you does not mean it will work for me. Do you know how much I've harmed myself listening to these ego-based people? I convinced myself that I was wicked. And I convinced myself the only way to repent for my wickedness, mind you, I've never harmed anyone, ever. The only way to repent from my wickedness is to become vegan, because then that will make me worthy to be in the presence of other spiritual people. And for 6 years, I disregarded the way it ravaged my body. And I was not a junk food vegan. I made all my food from scratch. It wrecked my body. It wrecked my perception of myself. See, I learned quite a bit in that time. So I won't say that time was wasted. I'll say that was a very challenging learning that I was going through. Very, very challenging. You know what I learned from that? That some of us are naturally high frequency. And if you're naturally already high frequency, that's your resting frequency, you're not compatible with a lot of the spiritual teachings that are propagated through spiritual communities. You actually are the opposite of what they tell you to do and be and live. Those things, veganism works for people who are low frequency. Your food is living, it's alive. You're already so dense that when you eat a vegan diet, it skyrockets your frequency. It doesn't make you high frequency. No, it doesn't. It just makes you more stable in your lower frequency. If you're high frequency, you need foods that will keep you grounded in this life, in this existence. And I've had people accuse me years later once they found out, like, oh, so we can't attack her because she was a vegan for 6 years. And the problem isn't veganism. The problem are the people who label themselves as vegan, but really they're nothing more than spiritual bullies. Fuck you. If you're one of those, that finger is for you. This one's for your friend that you're going to message later on to say that, oh my God, Emmy is such a bitch. Yes, the fuck I am. Don't be bullying my people. Let them eat whatever the fuck they feel like eating. And if you want to tangle with me, baby, I'll tussle with you. I'll probably make you cry though, but I'll tussle with you. I will. Careful what you wish for though, because I really probably will make you cry. Oh my God, Emmy is such a bully. No, Emmy's a mama bear. You don't fuck with my people. You let them eat whatever the hell they're drawn to. If they want to be vegan, perfect, beautiful. Love you guys. Go ahead and be vegan. If you don't want to be vegan, then don't be. Then don't be. Do what you're drawn to. Do what you feel in your soul is right for you. Seriously. 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 When I was vegan, again, 6.5 years, vegan, devoutly vegan. I wasn't just vegetarian, I was vegan. And for quite a few of those years, I was a raw vegan. Okay, don't tell me no shit about no veganism, please. I knew the ins and outs. I knew the supplementation. I knew all of that. And I remember I was starting to experience adverse effects on my organs. Yeah. All the doctors told me that I was malnourished. No, I'm not. I eat vegetables all day. Yeah. They told me quite a bit of different things, and I rationalized to myself, like, you don't get it because you're allopathic medicine and you are like a bane. Hella dramatic. You are a bane. Yeah, no. I then went and saw naturopaths. I saw an acupuncturist. I saw an herbalist. I saw a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner. I saw so many different people. They all said the same thing, that my body was dying. And I didn't want to believe it because I was spiritual, because I meditated every day, because I told people namaste. Yeah. And I punished myself and I punished myself and I punished myself for what? To impress the very people who were intimidated by me to begin with. You see, in these groups that I was trying so desperately to be, seen as like I could be part of your group. They had a nickname for me that I didn't know until I knew later. As a Catholic, it's offensive to call me a witch. I barely spoke in these groups. I just wanted to be present, to be allowed to be present. I barely spoke. Outside of me asking you questions to engage you so that you can, word vomit your entire life to me, and I will just sit there and accept it and take it and carry your wounds for you. I barely spoke. Then I found out later they called me a witch. And I was like, why would you call me that? Because being raised Catholic, that was offensive. And one of the greatest gifts that specific community gave me as I parted ways, not in a bad way, but just because my life went a different direction, was that they explained to me in their community, that's not derogatory. That despite me never showing anything, I did no readings. I did no advice, no nothing. I would just listen to people and say the bare minimum. They sensed my energy. And that was when I learned the difference between the derogatory meaning of witch as programmed in religion and the meaning of people who call me a white witch. They referred to me as a white witch. And I was like, why? I don't understand. I'm Catholic. A witch is a witch is a witch. And they're like, no, girl. No, you're a white witch. And I was like, what does that mean? Like, are you talking shit to my face? Like, what did I do? And then one of them had to pull me aside and had to explain to me, we all see what you are. You're a high priestess. And I was like, oh, priestess. What is that? What is that? What does that mean? And they explained to me that I'm very different than anyone they've ever come across. And that the entire community feels blessed, that I would bless them with my presence, and they wish I spoke more. They wish I shared more, because all of them could see they all had decalcified their pineals. And all these years that I was around them, they could see everything I didn't want to see about myself. And it took me going through all of the things that I went through to no longer participate in the things that were harming me. I'm not against veganism. It's actually a very beautiful practice. I'm not against veganism at all. If you're vegan for your health and it keeps you healthy, beautiful, literally beautiful. Keep going. Keep going. If you do these things, to be worthy of the people who aren't even paying attention to you, unless you conform, unless you comply, unless you do all of these things that feed their ego. I'm just saying. Be who you are. Receive what you need. Stop convincing yourself that what you're doing, this self-punishment that you do, is some twisted type of self-love. Self-love is listening to yourself. Self-love is considering your needs, cherishing yourself, celebrating who you are. That's self-love. That's self-love. Reading with Mom Bear says, women have always been nurturers. Not just women, though. Not just women. I've known quite a few women who are far from nurturing. I've known quite a few women absolutely not nurturers, not givers, not none of that. And I've known quite a few men absolutely nurturing, a giver, a lover, just beautiful. Those are the men who get it. Those are the men who are balanced within their existence, and they're no longer conforming to what society is telling them is their gender role. My husband is fully capable of being a single father. Like, he can homeschool, he can cook all the different foods, he knows how to do domestic things, and he's good at it too. He's also lived with me for, was it like 17 years? He was the sole breadwinner. And he would go to work and he would be gone 9-10 hours out of the day, like more like 10 and a half hours because of the commute. And then he would come home and he would like do dishes and cook and massage me because I've been taking care of the kids all day. Like, damn, haven't you been at work all day? Like, whoa, you're doing all that for me. And I'm not asking him to. He's just like, you're tired. You need to get off your feet already. A beautiful man is a beautiful man is a beautiful man. There's no one specific group or gender or any of that. that is superior in any way. There are good ones and bad ones in every group, every community, every gender, every race. There are good and bad. And we have to allow ourselves to really, instead of externalization, begin to internalize, you know, begin to internalize, begin to really, really, really look deep within ourselves. Look very, very deep within ourselves and find the pieces that have been long buried. Find the pieces that we've been looking for in other people. Something huge is about to happen. Something very, very huge is about to happen. It's up to you what you're going to do with that. It's up to you. Okay? It's really up to you. So innocence and natural endings. You're not innocent to what you create. And some things don't need to end. There might be a natural ending based on your perception. But if you're able to zoom out a little bit and see the big picture, that's not an ending. All endings are precursors for new beginnings. Because you can't have a beginning if it's continuing. Right? So it's basically shifting your life, shifting yourself in a different direction that gets you to a much higher space of perception. When you can see your life and your purpose and that path better, you're not as afraid. You become emboldened. You begin to really find that courage to step forward and to go after what it is you're looking for, what you want, whether it's opportunity, connection, whatever it is, it's time for you to begin deciding things for yourself. You know, it's time for you to really, really begin deciding things for yourself, allowing yourself to go forward, to have this movement, to really, really expand your awareness. Let's do this. Let's do this. I want you to pick a number, 1, 2, or 3. Pick one number, okay? Number 1, number 2, or number 3. That's for me. Let's see what this message is for me. Oh my God. This is for me as well. All right. Let's see. Okay, we'll just set these aside. I'll read it later. Let's see. So you guys good. Think of the thing. Think of the connection, opportunity, whatever it is. Think of it really, really deep. All right. Let me shuffle one more time. Okay, for those who pick 1, for those who pick 2, for those who pick 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. And then the second deck. So it's kind of like a semi-personal reading, right? Semi-personal. Okay. Okay, so 2 right there, 2 right there, and 2 right there. All righty, guys. This is for number 1. Think of that thing you want the most, okay? Okay. 4 of diamonds. This is about a new, different environment. This is about a flow. If what you're wanting has been being blocked up, you probably need to approach it from a different angle, a different space. You need a new environment. You need to allow the flow. You need to allow yourself to get creative in that. Okay. Yoga Kitty, Seven of Diamonds, balance, self-compassion, and forgiveness. I'm wondering, um, I'm wondering if what you are really struggling through or what's causing the struggle has more to do with you attacking yourself, right? You're hypercritical of yourself and it's causing you to block things because when you try and force, when you really, really try and force things to happen, just like with water, you have to build dams in order to block other pathways the water can take. So that's what you're ending up doing. What you have to do is not do that anymore, is what you have to do. There's no need to worry because your life will unfold in the way that it unfolds. Okay. It's going to unfold in the way that it unfolds. Just let it. Let's see. Hedgehog. Oh, wait. Hedgehog. Yeah, this little guy. Oh, sorry. No matter what's going on for you right now, do your absolute best to enjoy your life. Retreat from your usual routines for a day or two as a way of refreshing your body and spirit. This is a very fertile and creative time for you, so express yourself artistically in some enjoyable way. Ooh, there was something that I got yesterday. Hold on. I gotta find it. It ties into this so beautifully. Hold on. I gotta find it. Okay, so it says in here, express yourself artistically in some enjoyable way, right? Here, I saw this post. You got to resurrect the deep pain within you and give it a place to live that's not within your body. Let it live in art. Let it live in writing. Let it live in music. Let it be devoured by building brighter connections. Your body is not a coffin for pain to be buried in. Put it somewhere else. So this is about allowing your past pains to be utilized as the fuel or the building blocks to really, really go above and beyond for yourself. Now is not the time to attack yourself. You have a powerful connection with an ancient goddess energy, whether you're male or female. Work directly with the earth by doing some planting and gardening at your first opportunity. I think you're already doing that when you plant and garden your ideas. You have this internal garden within your heart and your mind. You have to cultivate it. And lastly, yes. The answer is yes. You think you don't know if you want to do it or not. So should you do it? Yes. Am I understanding this message clearly? Yes. Yes. The answer is yes. So this is for number 2. Okay. Number 2. Ooh, okay. Okay. Butterflies, change, freedom. You're going through change, and this change is scary, but it's offering you the freedom that you want from whatever situation you need to be freed from. Don't let your fear of change be the very shackles that keep you confined in life. Okay. So, 3 of Hearts, flowers, those you hold close. Are you afraid that the change will cause the flowers of your life to wilt? If those roots are healthy, the soil is solid, if you've added the things that you need to add to amend the soil, nothing happens to the flowers. Whatever happens to those flowers, new ones will grow. Nourish the roots, because if the roots are unhealthy, the flower never has a chance at surviving. So this is about looking at the root of your connection. For people who pick number 2, your issue, your struggle, your fear, it's connected to the roots of whoever you're afraid of losing, whoever or whatever you're afraid will not pan out, right? You have to address it from the roots, building a solid foundation. You have to make sure that if you're building something, you go all the way down to the bedrock. Or if what you're building is not as profound, not as prolific, I guess you could get away with simply creating a fake bedrock, creating a concrete foundation. I would go all the way down to bedrock. I would take the steps to create something that will be prolific, even though right now my goal is not for anything prolific. My goal is to simply have a shelter, right? Like, that's fine. But I'm going to set the stage for when I change my mind, because trust me, you're going to change your mind and you're going to go for the gusto. You're going to go all the way. You trying it small first because you're not sure. When you succeed with this, you're going to be sure. And then you're going to go all the way. You're going to go all the way. All the way. Alrighty. Yep. This is a sign. This is the sign. You're going to go all the way. You're going to go far. Don't worry. You got your sign. Get more information so you can better prepare. Oops. Get more information so you can better prepare. You've already made a decision, and I think all you're doing right now is trying to prepare that decision. Ooh, these are people who pick number 3, right? Number 3, which is most of you. Where? Oh, here it is. All right, here goes. Number 3. Queen of Hearts. Solidity, roots, and foundation. Ooh, being very, very solid. You're very solid in who you are at this point, right? You're very solid in your perception of what you need to accomplish. And maybe the thing that's happening is you're questioning if you're worthy of that accomplishment. You're questioning. It's okay to question. Don't worry about it. So, Joker. Shit. This is literally what it says here. Shit. The opposite of shit. So this is goodness. This is the fertilizer. This is the very thing, the situation, the sign, the whatever it is. You are going to profoundly grow. You are going to hit one out of the ballpark. Things are about to change, but you should not rush. Okay? Just because I told you these things does not mean suddenly you should be running towards some unknown. Hold on. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your intuition. It's guiding you right now. It's using quite a bit of knowledge, quite a bit of wisdom. It's delivering all of this to you, but you have to know how to apply this to your current situation. If you don't know how to apply it and you suddenly just start going balls to the wall, you only got 2 balls. And they're delicate. You don't want to damage those. It affects your creativity. How are you going to create if your testicles are damaged? Know what I'm saying? So don't damage the testicles. Don't be slamming things on walls. Treat them with tender, loving care. Okay? Slow it on down. Slow it on down. Really assess what you need to do, where you need to go, decisions, prioritize, make a whole list. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You know what I'm saying? Be gentle with the balls. Be gentle with the balls. I'm serious. Be gentle. Right now is not the right time. Okay. Now is not the right time for you to begin messing with your time. It's not the right time. Right now is when you need to really take stock. You need to really pay attention. You need to assess what's the priority. You need to assess what you're trying to accomplish, your reasoning for why. Um, ooh, I also hear that for some of you, you need to figure out why someone is offering to help. Like, what is that about? What is that about? What is that about? I think for some of us, we're entering into this period of repeating certain traumas that maybe happened long ago, maybe something a little more recent, but like very specific types of traumas. And these insecurities are rising up in order to help you really be present for this cycle that's about to approach. This cycle, if you can get through it, you won't go through this cycle again. You won't go through this cycle again. That's profound. That's huge. So if you can face it, not because you're forcing yourself, but because you're finding the courage to be able to stand your ground, not necessarily combatively, okay? But you're standing your ground and you're neutrally observing what's unfolding in front of you. Okay, stand your ground, neutrally observe, and then assess, what should I do with this? Is this a repeat of something old? Or is this really like this is a completely different type of situation? There's some similarities to an old circumstance, but this is not a repeat of that circumstance. This is a completely different type of experience, and I will not program this experience to be a repeat of something that utterly disappointed and destroyed me, right? It's all in how you want to approach this. Now, if you're going to approach it like, again, the whole balls to the wall thing, I can't imagine that would feel good. I don't know. I just can't imagine that would feel good. I think if you take things slower and really consider all of the different factors before you commit to whatever activity you're about to commit to, then I think it will work out fine. I think you'll see that this is a completely different situation, and as you see that and begin to embrace that, you'll begin to use more of your time, energy, and focus into the continuation, the building. You know what I mean? But if your energy, your focus is going to be split between worrying about BS drama repeating and the other half is for build, I promise you're going to build things in an effed up way. I was stressed out about something. Oh, one of my kids, like I love him so much. Oh my God, I love him so much. But he keeps asking me these questions that really just fuck with my head. One of the questions, hey, mommy. Hey, mommy. Yes, baby. Hey, mommy, would you rather? I already know where it's going. Hey, mommy, would you rather fight an orangutan with a sword once a year or a chicken every time you get into the car? I don't know. What's the right answer? I'm so stressed out. I'm stressed out. I don't know. What should I pick? And as always these questions. It can never just be like, how was your day? It's like, oh my God, it stresses me out so much. Just so much. Hey, mommy. Yes, baby. Would you rather? What was the other one he said to me? Would you rather be a pirate, but you don't have a peg leg. You have a cage that you keep your parrot in. Just some off the wall shit where I'm like, are you testing if I'm racist? And disabled? Is this a test to see if I have something against disabled people? Like, I don't know. It stresses me out. It stresses me out. Like, I can't. Just breathe. I can't. I can't because it's just too much. All right. I'm okay. I'm centered again. So I've started telling him, like, honey, I can't handle it. As soon as I hear, hey, mommy, baby, I don't know. I'm stressed out. Like, why are you stressed? Because you ask me crazy things that I don't know the answer. It feels like a test every time. It's not conversation. Like, tell me what you did today. Tell me this, tell me that. No, I can't ever be like that. It can't ever just be conversation. But God, I love him so much. One day I will no longer hear, hey, mommy, would you rather? And I'm going to miss it. So I'm trying to roll with it as much as I can. But it stresses the shit out of me. It stresses me out. Like, I don't know. I think he would be a fabulous demon wrangler. That particular son of mine. He would be fabulous. He could really mess with, like, the mindset and the focus of something demonic. I'd just be like, baby, ask your questions. Ask your questions. We're going to fuck them up. Ask your question. Ask them. Come with your best material. Ask them, baby. And I bet you, would you rather swim for your life from a shark or run for your life from, and some of the things that he says, some of the things that he asked me, like the two options, I'm like, both those options suck. Like, why are you presenting me sucky options? I should ask him if he would. Hold on. I'm going to ask him if he wants to ask you guys a question. Of course, he would ignore me. Hold on. Y'all need to hear some of this. I'm gonna record it sometime. I'm gonna record it, and then whenever you see me come on a live stream and I'm frantic and I'm like, I have anxiety. I feel so nervous. You'll know he spoke to me before I started the live stream. You just replay that, baby. Oh, here, I'm gonna give you a microphone. Here, hold on. It's right here, behind the screen.
Hello.
Okay, so ask them one of your questions. Would you rather?
Would you rather have a gigantic sword or would you rather have a normal sword?
Well, what would I need a sword for?
You have to fight a giant ogre at the first option, or fight a dragon at the second option.
But what if they don't want to fight?
No, you have to fight the choices.
But what if I don't want to fight?
And you can choose nothing.
What happens if I choose nothing?
Then you don't fight anything.
So nothing's going to happen to me?
Yeah, nothing.
But you look like something's going to happen. You just haven't thought of what's going to happen, huh? Yeah. Yeah. I can tell you're thinking of I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. But what will happen if I don't choose to fight? anxiety.
You just have to plant stuff.
Will the plants eat me?
No.
What would I plant?
You have to plant a, what is it called? A pineapple tree.
Okay. Are there bugs?
Only 2.
Oh my God. Okay, so if there's 2 bugs, what kind of bugs are they?
Just bees.
Only 2 bees. Okay, we need pollinators. So why are you laughing though? He's taking it easy on me, you guys. He's I knew it. You're taking it easy on me. Mm-hmm. You want to say bye to everyone?
Bye.
Mm-hmm. If you guys could see the look on his face, he was just like, wait till your live stream ends. I'll give you the real options. See? Mm-hmm. I already know. He's gonna be like, well, if you don't fight them, they're gonna gobble one leg, and then you're gonna have to plant trees and wait for the trees to grow so that you can make a peg leg. I don't know. Oh my gosh. I don't want to fight anything. I'm just saying. All right, guys. I gotta get going. I gotta go. I gotta go and I gotta go face what he's gonna tell me. My heart's already pounding. It's already pounding because I'm gonna pick the wrong option. It's gonna be okay. Guys, I will see you tomorrow, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Meet me here for church. I love you guys, and I hope everyone has an amazing, amazing rest of your day. Bye, everyone.